In the grand tapestry of the universe, the moon stands as a constant companion to the Earth. Its silvery glow has graced our night skies for millennia, shaping not only our planet's history, but also our culture, our emotions, and even our daily lives. But what if one day we awoke to an eerie emptiness where the moon should be? What would happen if the moon suddenly vanished from our night sky? This is what we will explore in this video. Brace yourself for a journey through the cosmos that will reveal the profound impact the moon has on our existence. The moon's absence would not only leave a gaping hole in our night sky, but would also trigger a chain reaction of events that could potentially reshape life on Earth as we know it. First and foremost, we would quickly realize that the moon hasn't just disappeared, but rather is still somewhere in the vast expanse of space. As with most things in space, the moon doesn't just vanish into thin air. If we were to look up into space, we would still be able to see it somewhere out there. We'd know that it's still in our solar system, but because it's no longer orbiting around the Earth, it would appear to us as a wandering star. The moon would be drifting through the darkness, slowly moving further and further away from where it once orbited our planet. As the moon drifted farther away, it would become increasingly difficult to spot with the naked eye. Eventually, it would become no more than a faint speck of light in the vast darkness of space. But that's not where the story ends. The moon's gravity is actually strong enough to influence other celestial bodies. If it were to escape Earth's gravitational pull, it would likely wander into deep space, perhaps even crashing into another planet or drifting off into interstellar space forever. And this event would not be a silent one. The impact of the moon on another planet would be catastrophic, triggering earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions that would likely make that planet's surface unrecognizable. Or if the moon were to drift out of the solar system entirely, it would become a rogue planet, forever banished from the celestial family that it once belonged to. But what if the moon simply vanished from our skies without leaving the solar system? What would happen then? Let's start with the obvious. The nights would be much darker. With the moon gone, the only illumination we'd have at night would be the faint glow of starlight. This would be a far cry from the soft, inviting glow of moonlight that bathes our world in silver at night. Darkness would be our constant companion, casting long, eerie shadows and hiding all but the brightest stars from our view. For many of us, the change would be more than just a minor inconvenience. In fact, it would disrupt our circadian rhythms, our biological clocks that are attuned to the regular cycle of day and night. Our sleep patterns would suffer. Plants, too, would feel the effects of the moon's absence. Many plants rely on the moonlight to complete their life cycles. The subtle rhythm of lunar phases influences flowering, fruiting, and even photosynthesis in some species. Without the moon, the delicate balance of nature would be thrown into disarray, affecting not only plants, but the animals that depend on them for survival. Then there's the matter of our oceans. The moon's gravitational pull is the main cause of our ocean's tides. Twice a year, when the moon is at its closest point to the Earth, we experience extra high tides known as spring tides. When the moon is at its farthest point from the Earth, we experience neap tides, which are less dramatic. Without the moon's gravitational pull on our oceans, we'd still have tides, but they'd be much less extreme than what we experience today. In fact, scientists believe that before the moon formed, Earth's tides were only about 40 feet high, less than half of what they are now. And if the moon were to completely disappear, we would eventually revert back to these lower tides. And let's not forget about the length of a day. The moon's gravity acts as a brake on the Earth's rotation, slowing it down ever so slightly. In fact, every year the moon causes our planet to rotate about 6 miles per hour slower than it would otherwise. That may not sound like much, but over billions of years this has had a huge impact on life on Earth. If the moon didn't exist, the Earth would rotate much faster. Days would be shorter, and nights would be longer. This could have major implications for plant and animal life on Earth, which has adapted to the current length of a day. But perhaps the most profound impact the moon has on our planet is the way it affects our culture, our art, and our very way of life. The moon has been a source of inspiration for humans for centuries. From the ancient myths and legends that explain its presence in the sky to the countless works of art it has inspired, the moon has played a significant role in shaping human civilization. The absence of the moon would leave a void in our cultural landscape, erasing a significant part of our shared human heritage. Imagine a world without the beautiful poetry of Shakespeare, the haunting melodies of traditional folk songs, or the stunning artwork that has captured the moon's ethereal glow. Life without the moon would be a life devoid of much of the beauty that this celestial body has inspired. Some may argue that the moon's disappearance would have minimal impact on human life. After all, the moon is just a rock floating in the sky, right? However, this perspective ignores the profound connection that humans have had with the moon since the dawn of our species. The moon is more than just a celestial object. It's a symbol, a source of inspiration, and a constant companion. To lose the moon would be to lose a part of ourselves. However, there's another side to the coin. Perhaps the moon's absence would force us to look up at the stars in a new way, inspiring a new generation of artists, poets, and dreamers. We may discover new constellations or find new meanings in the familiar patterns of the night sky. We may even invent new ways to illuminate our nights, bringing new forms of beauty to our world. The disappearance of the moon could be a catalyst for human ingenuity and creativity, pushing us to explore new frontiers of thought and expression. But ultimately, the truth lies somewhere between these two extremes. The moon's absence would undoubtedly have a profound impact on our world, but the extent of that impact would depend on how we choose to respond. Would we allow ourselves to be consumed by fear and despair, or would we rise to the challenge, embracing the darkness and finding new sources of light and inspiration? Only time will tell. Now, let's shift our focus to the hypothetical scenario where the moon splits in half. Imagine waking up one morning to witness the moon hanging in the sky, not as a single orb, but as two distinct halves. This spectacle would undoubtedly send shockwaves around the globe, with astronomers working tirelessly to understand this unprecedented phenomenon. Speculations would run rampant, with theories ranging from the moon having a secret internal explosion to it being torn apart by a rogue meteor. The immediate aftermath of the moon splitting would bring with it a surge of anxiety and uncertainty. People would wonder about the stability of the remaining fragments and the potential risks they posed. The sudden appearance of two moons in the sky would also have immediate effects on the global community. Governments and international agencies would spring into action, setting up task forces to monitor the situation and assess any potential dangers. The world would be on edge, unsure of what the next move of these celestial bodies would be. One of the most immediate concerns would be the impact on global communications and navigation systems. Many of these systems rely on the moon's position and gravitational pull for accuracy. Disruptions caused by the moon splitting would likely lead to temporary malfunctions and a race against time to recalibrate these essential systems. The changes in the gravitational field caused by the splitting of the moon would also have implications for the Earth's orbit and its tilt on its axis. This could potentially lead to drastic shifts in our climate patterns, causing extreme weather conditions across the globe. The world would face a race against time to understand and adapt to these rapid climatic changes, potentially leading to mass migrations and resource conflicts. But perhaps the most dramatic consequence of the moon splitting would be the threat posed by the fragments themselves. Depending on their trajectory, the separated halves of the moon could pose a significant risk to Earth. If either fragment were to come close enough to Earth, it could trigger massive earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions. The impact on life on Earth could be catastrophic, potentially setting back human civilization by centuries. In the face of such a dramatic event, humanity would need to come together like never before. Global cooperation would be essential to navigate the challenges posed by the splitting moon. from the disruption of essential systems to the threat of celestial collisions. The world would be forced to confront the fragility of its systems and the interconnectedness of its people. It would be a test of human resilience and adaptability like no other. Ultimately, the splitting of the moon would be more than just a scientific marvel. It would be a defining moment in human history, forcing us to confront the mysteries and challenges of the universe head-on. The consequences would reach far beyond the realm of astronomy, impacting every aspect of human life. It would be a wake-up call, reminding us of the fragility of our existence and the importance of unity, adaptability, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. It's a scenario that, while terrifying, could also be a catalyst for unprecedented innovation and global cooperation. It would be a new chapter in human history, one that begins with the dramatic splitting of the moon and leads us to new frontiers of exploration, understanding, and resilience.